Hello, this is Crack Attack, and I'm going to be commentating on Neo Contra Co-op, the New Game Plus Any Percent category. This is done by me and Giygasblues. Now in a Neo Contra, when we do co-op, you can only select one of each character. So the best character happens to be Katana Jaguar for the damage, and then the second character doesn't really matter too much. You can be whoever. So, and then we use weapon set D is the weapon set we want to use. These have the best weapons possible. They're only in New Game Plus. And weapon set D has the lightning for both characters, no matter which two characters you pick. And it has a the red weapon will change if it's on Katana Jaguar or not. And we also have the Heaven's Laser, which is a green weapon at the top there. So the blue weapon is basically your auto fire. We just keep spamming that if there's small enemies for the most part. And then the red weapon is their strong weapon. Katana Jaguar has the flame katana, which is the most powerful weapon. It incinerates anything in a matter of seconds or less. And then Lucia and Bill both have the rocket, which is pretty powerful, but it can be used at range. The katana is very hard to use in some spots, but I've devised strategies for basically both weapons to be used at any boss, any moment. Okay, so you know, as you see, we're just plowing through these enemies pretty easily. And the babyface is right here is one of the hardest bosses to position the katana. You only have a very small second, 2 seconds to do it there. Otherwise, it takes a little bit longer. But co-op is pretty consistent. You just smash through a bunch of stuff pretty easily. And then we're on to our first boss already. Our first boss, we actually use the Heaven's Laser, which is the lock-on weapon. If you ever see that green lock-on stuff, that's when we can use the weapon. If you barely missed it, that's what you probably saw. And then we use the katana, and then Heaven's Laser to finish it. That's it. Very simple. I'm not sure if you guys even saw the boss there. And then we go on to level 2, which is the auto-scroller. There's a few things to note in this auto-scroller, however. There's a few things to speed up here. This is actually almost half the run, just this stage, because it's an auto-scroller. So killing these guys for the 20% hit rate is, you can speed this up if you kill them quickly enough. They're all determined by how where you're positioned, where they spawn. So we generally try to stay in the middle, is what we found works. And then you get that guy. And then on this part, it's very important we don't kill the things on the side. These little lock-ons on the side, we only kill the middle. Giygas likes to kill the things on the side to scare me, and that's fine. Because if you do kill all the things on the side, then it's a very long, it's like 10 plus seconds of explosion animation. That's no good. So both of us, yeah, we have the same power on our weapons except for the red weapon. So the katana in this case. And this part, it doesn't really matter if you die or not. Also, to keep in mind, we're playing this on easy difficulty just because you can. The fastest way to do any percent is on easy difficulty. If you do normal difficulty, the only difference is some health differences on the bosses, and the lives. You have less lives on normal. But if you play on normal, it makes you do stage 5, which is not required for any percent. So you might as well. There's no point to do normal. You're just making it longer if you do normal difficulty. But even then, it's really not that much different. For difficulty, just some bosses take a little bit longer, or take an extra hit or two. More or less, if you can do this, you can pretty much do normal difficulty. Normal difficulty is usually just for the other categories, for the 100% and the all stages. And then we fight this guy who goes down. He has like double machine gun moves and all this other stuff, but we don't get to see that. And then you fight some other plant guy who turns into a giant flower, I don't know what that is. So we flame katana him, and then just Heaven's Laser. He takes 14 Heaven's Laser, so I think for 12 or 14, but between both of us we kill him twice as fast pretty much for that phase. So there's some difference in co-op to make it quite a ways faster in some areas. Generally the boss kills that take more than one flame katana hit will be significantly sped up with a second player. But other than that, the run speed and so on is that's your limit for some of the parts you can do fast. And also the lag. Most notably here in this stage, in stage 4, there's a lot of lag in some parts. We actually base our kills around, if there's too many enemies, we'd actually forego killing some enemies just so it doesn't cause lag. Especially the ones with the blood effects there, those cause the most lag. If there's usually 3 or more of them that die at a time, then that's usually a lot of lag and that's no good. And for the leaderboards at least, we play for in-game time. Here's a quick kill here. That's actually pretty hard to do. Yeah, for leaderboards we do in-game time. We're not exactly sure how it works for in-game times, but we just play as fast as possible, and generally you get the best RTA, best in-game time. We're not sure if it accounts for lag or not. From what we've seen in co-op, some of the lag things make it the in-game time faster, so we're going by RTA time at least for submission. And then yeah, so when we have a second player, it helps a lot to kill some of the surrounding enemies that we need to kill. For in that spot, for example, we had to kill both turrets. This one we kind of combo this boss down, 2 flame katanas and a rocket. Seems to be the best method. Then I use lightning here since I can't reach with the flame. And then that's a quick kill. And then that boss is really hard to reach with the flame. And then this boss, Lucia, we have, you can stun lock her with enough damage. But you gotta be careful you don't run into her, otherwise she'll actually do attacks. So I generally try to hit her on the side with that flame weapon. So also we're going to use a lot of a Heaven's Laser in the beginning of this stage, in stage 4. The way Heaven's Laser works is that you lock onto something and these little blue ammo things on the top left and top right determine how many we can use in one shot. So in this case 4 for Heaven's Laser. We can lock onto 4 different things and hit. We can also lock into the same thing 4 times is what we're going to do right here. And then we have to wait for a small cooldown. Heaven's Laser is very powerful and has a very small cooldown, and it goes through pretty much any armor or obstruction otherwise. So Heaven's Laser is hands down always going to be the best lock-on weapon to have. And you can just spin around for fun on this auto scroll. And running on helicopter blades is always cool, so we do that. The other weapons, you can always switch between them. The lightning and the flame katana, you have to toggle between them. Or you toggle between using that or the lock-on. So yeah, here we got to be wary of lag. Don't kill too many things. As you see, there's some lag. And the strategy we have right now is to go there and do just both lightning, and then Giygas will take the right path, I will take the left path. And we got to make sure we get this lock on right away. Otherwise, a lot more lag if we don't kill that thing right away, that satellite. So this part's especially dangerous. It's probably the scariest part of the run. But if we do it on the same cycle every time, we will not get hit by those bullets that are coming out of those turrets on the side. And then the final boss is some dog in a submarine, and we just slice them once and that's it. And then we have a 7:08 is our time for New Game Plus any % co-op. That actually, we did some runs. This run was recorded in at AGDQ 2019. We actually played all day, and I showed Giygas the run, and he seems pretty proficient at it now. And we have a very consistent time, it seems like. We're getting 7:10, 7:20 in game time, which is roughly like 12 minutes, 9, 10, 12 minutes at max. So 15 minutes is pretty generous for the estimate. So yeah, there's also a lot of cutscenes. We're going to set them as donation incentives. They're actually pretty hilarious. I would highly recommend to watch movie 11. It kind of explains this whole plot a lot better. There is like some kind of story. It's kind of like Metal Gear kind of story, where it's trying to be philosophical and all, but it's actually more hilarious than it is philosophical and fun, complex, and all that. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.